Hey guys, this is my 6-man run on Act 3 Finale Part 2 featuring the Cloud of Darkness. I know I'm a little bit late here, I've been sort of swamped with work over the last few days, so apologies for the lateness, but this run here is going to be an Onion Knight ticket mission carry. You don't need to have any weapons for Onion Knight because it's not going to do a single thing except using the call abilities, so all you need to do is level him until he can use call abilities. And this run is also going to be a 1 force time victory run. First off, to start the fight, you need to get a turn order of Enna Crow, followed by Luna Freya, followed by Kain. And you can actually easily achieve this by removing speed passives from Enna Crow and Kain. As always, I'll be listing in the video description the passives that I removed, so you can check that out for more information. I did also remove speed passives from Minwu, Auron and Kain as well. And it's actually very important to do so that you can try to maximize your force time bonus in the single force time that you'll be entering. The key at the start is that you want to completely set up Enna Crow before the boss even hits his first force time, because you'll soon be swapping her out and bringing her back in later in the game to finish off the boss. In order to set up Enna Crow, there's a couple of things that you need to do, which is why you want her to start first. Firstly, I used one additional ability with her to get her AA up and to also remove the blind debuff that she gets at the start of the fight. Secondly, I did have her use the Elise LD call to get the LD call aura up before ending her turn with her S1. Finally, before you swap Enna Crow out, it is critical that you load her up with 6 framed buffs. She needs 6 frame buffs to get sort of pseudo debuff immunity. Otherwise, she will get blinded and confused later on in the fight. This is where the Hope base call and the Kid Thief LD call comes in. So Luna Freya applies 2 prayer buffs on Enna Crow, the Hope call applies another 2 buffs, and finally the Kid Thief LD call applies the final frame buff for 6 buffs in total. The 6th buff isn't terribly critical. Another option instead of the Kid Thief buff is that you just have someone swap out for Auron and have Auron use his LD to give 1 frame buff to Enna Crow. There's a lot of flexibility here, but the key is that she needs 6 frame buffs in total. Also right here is where I'm juggling turns between Luna Freya and Kain. When the boss hits 30% force gauge, all your actions will self-delay your character by 1 turn. So if you're using instant turn characters between Luna Freya and Kain, they'll just be alternating turns between the both of them. And this allows you to complete your setup with Kain as well. You have to make sure, of course, that Kain is buffed by Quick Prayer so that his actions becomes instant turn. But anyway, by doing so, it allows you to use Kain's PT Plus to get his PT aura up, LD to charge his overhead so that he can jump later on, and his additional ability, which I actually used at the start to remove the blind debuff from him. Finally, once Kain is set up, do not jump with him yet. What I did there was to swap him out for Auron. You actually want to keep Kain in the field and bring him back later on so that the boss actually debuffs him with speed down. That's right, you actually want Auron, Minwu and Kain all to be debuffed by speed down. If you do so, and you combine this with also removing their speed passives, the boss will get a lot of turns before your party gets their turns, and this actually allows you to easily hit 900% force gauge bonus during Minwu's force time. Finally, once Luna Freya has finished setting up both Kain and Enna Crow, before you swap her out, you want to use the Kid Thief LD call so that it's prepared. Very importantly, you must swap Luna Freya out after using the Kid Thief LD call. Do not take any actions with her once the LD call aura is up. Anyway, right here I swap her out with Minwu. When both yourself or the boss are very close to 100% force gauge, primarily the boss, you want to enter Minwu's BT mode. This is for 2 reasons. One is that the BT mode allows you to, of course, to get Minwu's BT aura up in preparation for his force time, since you'll be entering his force time soon. But the other reason also is that, of course, when the boss hits 100% force gauge, you will have to tank the boss's force attack, and it hurts like hell even with Auron as a tank in your party. By entering Minwu's BT mode, you actually get to use Minwu's FR attack inside his BT mode, which doesn't do damage but it overheals everyone in your party by 30% HP, and this allows you to very comfortably tank the next few attacks that the bosses will throw at you. Lastly, in case you're wondering why I use Auron here instead of another tank like Gladio, the only reason is that Gladio is immune to debuffs, which means that the speed down debuff will not be able to stick on him, whereas Auron is susceptible to that debuff, and you can then have speed down on all three of your characters in the field during Minwu's force time. One final note as I'm finishing up with the BT mode here, I did set call abilities on Auron and Minwu, but I ended up not using them, so you can just forget about the call abilities on both of them. A boss is about to hit force time, and right here I swap out to Onion Knight again, and this part is actually quite important. At first I was actually just thinking of doing this just to get Shell and Protect to comfortably tank the force attack, but it turns out the Shell and Protect on Auron and Minwu is also quite critical. By using the Hope Call here, you actually allow both Auron and Minwu to hit 6 framed buffs and debuffs. The speed down is a frame debuff, so that helps as well. But by having 6 frame buffs on both Minwu and Auron, they also actually become immune to debuffs later on in the fight, which is actually also very critical. So this is what I was referring to. Boss have entered force time but barely tickled you, and as you can see, both Auron and Minwu now are loaded up to 6, or I guess 5 frame buffs and 1 frame debuff. Once that's done, you can swap Onion Knight out for Kain once more, and I'm gonna have Kain jump into the air, but I'm just sort of waiting until the boss debuffs him with speed down. The Leo LD call actually isn't mandatory. The main reason why I gave him the Leo LD call is I was hoping that the LD call aura will last until Enna crows come into the field, but unfortunately in this run it didn't. The LD call aura expired 1 turn before Enna crow came back. I didn't jump here because the boss hasn't debuffed Kain with speed down, so I just let it go and have him use a regular attack. This is where I finally enter into Minwu's force time, and this is the only force time that you'll be using here. One key note is you must enter Minwu's force time before the boss hits 30% force gauge. If the boss has hit 30% force gauge here, then this strategy wouldn't work anymore because Enna Crow will be self-delaying herself later on in the fight. Right here, the boss has finally debuffed Kain with speed down, so I can finally have him leap into the air. This is the ideal situation where you are in Minwu's force time and all 3 of your characters are debuffed with speed down, and because the enemies are still in the support mode, they will be also buffing the boss with speed up. So all this difference in speed stat allows the enemies to take a lot of turns. This part of the fight is pretty straightforward. During Minwu's and Auron's time, you want to just use their hardest hitting attack. With Auron, that's going to be his LD. If Minwu, you want to use an attack that will trigger traps. So this could be either his EX or his HP plus attack. Do not use Teleport Plus because Teleport Plus will be deleting the minion's turns and you don't want that to happen. Kain is the best often unit for this strategy to work. You can also consider Freya if you don't have Kain, but Kain does tremendously more damage than Freya, And of course his BT plus aura also helps to further support Enna Crow's damage later on in the fight. Why is Kain the best often for this strategy to work? Well, for one thing, at this part of the fight and later on as well at 49%, the tentacles are in support mode, which means that they will not attack you. And if the tentacles are not attacking you, that means that they aren't going to trigger any counter attacks. So counter attack based characters like Beatrix or Gao wouldn't really work that well here, since you'll be missing 2 counter attack opportunities right there. You can of course consider to use trap based units such as Furion or Maria, and of course if you use those trap units when the support tentacles take their turn, they will still trigger the often damage. But the drawback with using trap based units is that when Enna Crow comes back and she takes multiple consecutive turns to finish off the boss, her turns will not trigger the traps obviously because the enemies aren't taking turns. So during that phase of the fight, you'll be missing very valuable often damage. This is why the Dragoons are ideal. Kain in particular, Kain's Lancets will trigger every single turn regardless of what action you take or what action the enemy takes. So when the support tentacle takes their turn, they will still trigger Kain's Lancet. When Enna Crow takes her turn, she will also trigger Kain's Lancet. These additional Lancets from Kain during the support tentacle turns are quite critical also because they will plus 10% the force gauge, and you can imagine during this part of the fight, every plus 10% helps a lot and really builds up over time to allow you to reach very high force bonus percentages. At this part of the fight, you want to try to stretch out Minwu's force time as much as possible. Obviously, if you are aiming for a 1 force time run, I think this is really one of the best ways to go. I know that it is possible to of course do a 1 force time run with Dorgan's FR, and I've seen Lasagna as well as Theologica do 0 turn runs with Dorgan right there as well. But unfortunately I don't have Dorgan, I didn't pull for him, and I don't really want to green Sephiroth as well, so adjustments had to be made. I'm quite happy overall that I managed to still do a 1 force time run, but this is obviously not going to be a 0 turn run. The trade-off of course is that you get to carry Onion Knight through for the juicy ticket mission tickets. And like I said, you don't really need Onion Knight to do anything, so even if you don't have any weapon passives for Onion Knight, just level him to the level required to use call abilities, and that's really enough. So at 79%, the boss will dispel the support tentacles and will summon attack tentacles. The boss will also use Gaze Plus, which is meant to debuff your party, but because Auron and Minwu are loaded with 6 frame buffs/debuffs, they are technically immune to the debuffs from the boss, which is why the Hope call earlier was quite important. Right at the start of this phase, it is very important to use Minwu's S1 to reapply his traps on both the tentacles, because they start the fight right here without any of the debuffs up. You want to bring both Luna Freya as well as Enna Crow back when there's exactly 4 turns of force time remaining, which is coming up right here. The 4 turns will allow you to use 1 turn for Luna Freya to allow her to remain in the field, and then 3 turns with Enna Crow to kill off the boss. I'm actually a bit undecided whether is it worth it to bring Luna Freya back in rather than have Minwu remain on the field. I think Luna Freya is a bit better because she is holding the Kate Sith LD Call aura, and she also has a BT plus aura up as well. But by bringing her back right here, the drawback is that you can't increase the force time bonus any longer. I decided to pop summon here, I guess just to save 1 turn count. But it helps also because by summoning here before the tentacles are up, Brother Summon does tremendous amounts of damage to the boss. And right here, this is the perfect situation. Auron gets his turn, so I swap him out for Enna Crow. At this point, you need to pay very close attention to which tentacles are up. If the support tentacles are up, you want to use Enna Crow LD on the boss. Right here, as you can see, the boss has resummoned the attack tentacles. If the attack tentacles are up, you want to use Enna Crow's EX. You should have her EX fully charged because she starts the fight with it fully charged. 1 EX will annihilate the attack tentacles. And finally, the final turn in force time is of course using her LD to finish off the boss. The reason behind the Alice and the Kate Sith call is that they allow Enna Crow attacks to regen tremendous amounts of Brave to fuel her damage output, because at certain parts of the fight, the boss will have 90% physical damage resistance, which will greatly hinder Enna Crow's Brave damage. Anyway, that's it for this fight. Hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shinryu fight. Bye!